Hi parents, it is Miss Douthit back with another weekly update, this time for the week of December 1st. We do have a lot of upcoming test dates. I listed them all out in the email if you want to take a picture of them or if you want to write them on the calendar yourself. But next week on Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to do both of the FAST tests. And then the following week after that, we're going to do all of our QMT tests. We're going to have reading, math, and science QMTs. It is a lot of testing right before winter break, unfortunately. We don't really have much choice with the windows for when the testing windows open, so we do have to do them when the district requires us to do them. But we will push through all this testing to get to some of those fun activities that last week before the break. In reading, we're starting back up with our second set of texts in Unit 3. This text set has a theme of how can one person make a difference. Students will learn about the civil rights movement and how different people have helped their communities. We do have new vocabulary words that we will have a vocab quiz on next Friday on the 12th. The words are boycott, encouragement, fulfill, injustice, mistreated, protest, qualified, and registered. I did include all of the definitions that the students are learning with those words in the email if you want to make sure that you're doing the right definition with the vocab words as you're practicing at home. There are also new Common Lit assignments for this week. Students have until Sunday evening to complete them to earn those star tickets. I check every Monday morning for those. Paperwork about the speech contest went home before the break. If your child is missing their paperwork for the speech, please tell them to come and see me so I can get those papers to them. There were some students who were absent like Thursday and Friday, and they're going to need those speech papers. So if you're sitting there thinking like, wait, what speech papers? Tell your child to please come visit me and ask me for them. This is not an optional assignment. This is something that all students must participate in. Public speaking is one of the fourth grade benchmarks that I must teach and students must practice and students must learn. It is one of our best benchmarks that we have to teach in Florida in fourth grade. A rubric was sent home for the things I will be looking for when students are presenting. I'm not grading the written portion of the speech at all. I am only grading the presentation the student gives at the end of January. We do have all of the dates on the timeline if you take a look at that for when students will present. For this week, students are going to be telling me their topic tomorrow. I'm hoping for them to tell me their topic tomorrow. And then I'm going to go over the yellow planning sheet on Wednesday. Students don't have to use the yellow planning sheet, but I will go over it briefly so students who like to use things like that will understand how to use it, but they certainly do not have to if they don't want to use the planning sheet. Please remember that this speech will be written and completed at home, and we will practice in class. And we are hoping to have the speeches completed by winter break. So that way students can practice it at home over winter break with family members. And then when they come back from winter break in January, they will practice with classmates before they then present at the end of January. If you are confused about any dates or deadlines, please use the timelines and the due dates checklist that is in students' binders to keep on pace with the speech. But for this week, students are giving me their topics tomorrow, and then we will start going over the planning page on Wednesday if students would like to start writing. I know I've had quite a few students tell me that they have already written it and they're already ready to practice it and they are already ready to start editing it and everything, which is fantastic. Becoming Miss Urquhart for math. In math this week, we are focusing on measurement conversions. Students will be able to use the FAST reference sheet. We call it a golden ticket because it is a very helpful tool to convert the measurements. This can be used on all classwork and assignments. It is attached to this email for you to review with your child at home if you would like. When converting larger units, like such as yards, to smaller units, such as feet, students will multiply the number of larger units by the conversion number. However, when going from smaller to larger units, students will need to divide. They can create charts, models, or use equations to demonstrate these conversions. I have attached our measurement activity sheet that will explain some key vocabulary words, along with provide you with some possible activities to do at home if you would like. Both of those attachments are included with the email for math. Holiday Spirit Days. The Spirit Week flyer was included in the Trailblazer, so you might have already seen it, the Trailblazer that was sent out by the school. I believe it was sent out the Friday right before fall break. It was like a text message with a link included in it, and that's for the Trailblazer. But in case you didn't see it and you want to plan ahead, I did do a breakdown of each of the holiday spirit days in the email. So Monday 12:15 is going to be lighted up, wear shiny and bright clothes. Tuesday 12:16 is going to be Too Festive Tuesday, wear your favorite holiday shirts. Wednesday 12:17 is going to be winter pajama day. Just make sure that students are wearing shoes that day, and it should still be school appropriate. So we want to make sure that clothing is not too short and it's not spaghetti strapped and not too revealing. And then they should also have shoes on. And then Thursday, 12:18 is going to be Holly Jolly Holidays. Wear your favorite holiday hat or headband. I expect to see a lot of headbands and hats that day. I know I've already planned mine. And then Friday, 12:19 is Holiday Silly Sock Day. Yearbooks are for sale. They are officially up for sale. Please take a look at the Trailblazer for a link to buying them for $35 before December 19th. The price will go up to $40 each after the 19th. You can also find the link to buy the yearbooks on the Stowers PTA website. So if you just literally Google Stowers Elementary PTA, it should bring you to the website. It should be one of the first links, and then on there you'll have a link that you can click on to then buy the yearbooks if that's a little bit easier for you. No Kona ice. There is no Kona ice for the months of December or January. Our next one is going to be February 27th. We just have too much going on in the months of December and January. Too many events, too much testing, too many fun activities and stuff that's already happening in the classroom. So we just figured we don't need anything additional, anything extra for these 2 months. So our next Kona ice actually won't be until the end of February. And I'll remind you as it gets closer to. And progress reports. Progress reports for the second quarter are coming home this week. Our goal is to send them out by tomorrow, but plans might change. We might need another additional day to complete them, and they might go home on Wednesday. Definitely keep an eye out for your child's in their binder. Make sure to sign it and have your child return it to their homeroom teacher. If you have any questions about their grades, reach out to that specific teacher. Remember that Ms. Douthit is ELA, so if you have a question about reading, writing, or social studies, reach out to me. If you have a question about science, you'll want to reach out to Ms. McCullough. And then if you have a question about math, you'll want to reach out to Ms. Urquhart, and we will get back to you. We can always schedule another conference, or we can give a phone call, or we can just answer your question through email. And then, as always, if we do not respond to your email within like 24 or 48 hours, please, please, please send it again. There are certain days where we get a ton of emails, and sometimes they get overlooked, sometimes they get forgotten. And if we are forgetting to respond to your email and you have not got a response, please, please, please just send it to us again. It is not anything that is rude or anything that is being pushy. Like, we want you to send it again because that is our main form of communication. And if we are not responding to you, we are not communicating with you. So please make sure that you send that again if we do not respond to you within 24 or 48 hours. So we appreciate everything that you do to support your child at home, especially during the holidays right now with all the fun things going on. I will see you in next week's video.